Hello, thank you for joining us today, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to CRCC Asia's fifth webinar series focused on the growing sectors in China. Today specifically, we will talk about the legal field in China, as well as the CRCC Asia internships. My name is Yulia. I'm the marketing manager at our CRCC Asia Toronto office, from where we're hosting our webinar live today. So thank you for joining in again. We're excited to talk to you about the key trends, developments, as well as challenges in the legal field in China. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to Okay, so our agenda today will be an introduction to the legal field in China. We will talk about what interning in this field looks like in China, and then we will take a look at some testimonials from our previous legal interns in China. Now, please feel free to submit your questions throughout the presentation, and I will do my very best to answer them towards the end of the presentation. You can find the question and answer form on the right-hand side of this webinar. So here we will start with some introduction to the field of law in China. So while the Chinese law is one of the oldest legal traditions in the world, today law in China represents a complete mix of traditional Chinese approaches and Western influences. For most of the history of China, its legal system has been based on the Confucian philosophy of social control through moral education, as well as the legalist emphasis on codified law and criminal sanctions. A little bit about the history of law in China. Following the revolution of 1911, China adopted a Western-style legal code with influence of the German civil law system. The establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949 resulted in a more Soviet-influenced system of socialist law. Now, what's interesting to note is that since then, foreign law firms have been setting up representative offices in the country. There were 224 such offices from 21 nations as of October 2009, plus 65 offices in the mainland region representing Hong Kong firms. These developments have been described as important in strengthening the rule of law in China. The legal regime in China is currently referred to as a socialist legal system with Chinese characteristics. Hong Kong still retains the common law system inherited as a former British colony, and Macau employs a legal system based on Portuguese civil law. For those of you who don't know, Macau is a small peninsula in mainland China, right across from Hong Kong. It's a Portuguese overseas territory. It was a Portuguese overseas territory until 1999, and it reflects a mix of Portuguese and Chinese influences. Both Hong Kong and Macau have their own courts of final appeal, and what this means is that they're outside of the legal jurisdiction of the PRC, the People's Republic of China, except on constitutional issues. Now here we list some a hierarchy of governmental directives in China. So on the very top is the Constitution of the People's Republic of China, followed by the national laws, which are issued by the National People's Congress. That is followed by administrative regulations that are issued by the State Council, followed by local decrees that are issued by local people's congresses, and followed by administrative and local rules that are issued by local people's government. So here we will talk about some of the challenges that China's legal system is currently facing. We have identified 3 such challenges. Number 1 could be said to be equality and justice. the People's Republic of China laws provide principles for fundamental human rights, but there is an agreement that some of these rights are not always fully implemented. Number two, there are certain extra-legal norms, such as corruption and guanxi. Now, for those of you who may not know, guanxi is an idea that is central to Chinese culture and society, and it is especially important in the context of business. Now, this idea refers to personal networks of influence and relationships, and the exact meaning of guanxi is subtle and multi-layered. Loosely it's translated as networks or relationships. It evokes depths of feeling, moral obligations, and social status, as well as favors to be done and debts to be repaid. So, of course, the influence of these extra-legal norms harm the impartiality of administrative bodies, as well as, of course, sometimes the judicial system. Now, the third challenge that we have identified is the intellectual property rights. Despite the existence of a legal framework to protect intellectual property, copyright violations are still somewhat common in the People's Republic of China. And we will go a little bit deeper into the details of the intellectual property rights in just a second. So let's talk about our internship programs in the legal sector. Now, what are some of the largest China or Asia firms? Some of them include Decheng Law Offices, Grandel Legal Group, Longin, Albright, and of course many others. Now, depending on what you're studying and wish to pursue in your future careers, we have several different branches of law that you could complete your internship in China in. So we have outlined several here, and we'll go into a little bit more detail. So number one, corporate law. The development of Chinese corporate law has provided evidence of the power of China as really one of the world's largest markets. What's important to keep in mind is that companies or corporations are making a significant contribution and are really the dominant players in China's rapidly growing economy. While China's corporate law embraces a significant amount of institutions important from foreign sources, it also demonstrates strong Chinese characteristics. International law. The international law in the People's Republic of China is based on peace and democracy. In China, the discussion about the international law began in 1957, and this discussion included the concept of how law adjusts the different relations between states with different types of social systems. The focus is more on sovereignty, which is a concept of equality and independence, which is the most important principle in guiding China's understanding and engagement with international law. Commercial law. Now, China has established a comprehensive scheme of legislation, including national laws, administrative regulations, and local rules. Intellectual property rights. Now, intellectual property rights have also been acknowledged by the People's Republic of China. The protection of intellectual property contributes to areas in trademark, copyright, and patent. And the trademark law of the People's Republic of China sets out general guidelines on administration of trademarks, protection of trademark owners' exclusive rights, and maintenance of quality of products or services that are bearing the registered trademarks. Copyright law is mainly governed by the copyright law of the PRC and the implementing rules for the copyright law of the PRC. The PRC passed the patent law of the People's Republic of China to encourage invention creation and to promote the development of science and technology. Now, depending on the type of company, here are some of the typical tasks that our interns are given in their placements. So it could include legal research, shadowing lawyers, drafting and proofreading legal documents and contracts, or perhaps business development and client management. The dress code for the legal sector, of course, is business attire, and the regular working hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. So here is an example of a host company that we work with. The name of it is Dacheng Law Offices. It was founded in 1992. The Dacheng Law Offices is one of the first and largest partnership law firms in China, which is home to more than 3,200 licensed attorneys worldwide. It is headquartered in Beijing, and it has an extensive global legal services network that consists of over 50 offices. So you can see all of the details of this host company here. Here is a description of a typical legal internship with CRCC Asia in China. It is one of the most competitive and most popular sectors that we have, and we have 14 different sectors. Our programs do start every month throughout the year, and the legal internship is available for a 1, 2, or 3-month program. Here is an example of a typical internship responsibility description for our interns. So you could be preparing a presentation of the English legal system in regards to real estate contracts, introducing famous legal precedents in the real estate industry, for example. You could be advising on and processing trademark registration for a number of foreign clients. You could be doing research as well as producing newsletters on recent legal developments in China and sending them off to foreign companies. You could be conducting market research on Chinese reverse mergers to present, again, to foreign clients. You could be researching case laws and appeal routes for arbitration cases or constructing grounds for appeal for clients. Okay, so what does our program include? It is a full-service comprehensive program. And it starts with, of course, a guarantee of an internship in the sector of your choice, it presumably being law. We guarantee that you will get an English-speaking supervisor. And before you even go to China, we will provide you with pre-departure assistance on the location that you're going to, which is up to you, actually, as well as duration. We will give you information on what to prepare, what to bring, and really be there for any kind of questions that you may have. We will do full processing of the business visa for you. And once you arrive to China, we will pick you up from the airport and drop you off at the accommodations that are included in the program. Now, our accommodations are international hotel service accommodations, so you get cleaning and towel change once a week. You have your own bedroom, and then you share the living room and kitchen and bathroom with 1 or 2 other interns of the same gender. They're really nice accommodations. They're centrally located, either in the business district, the financial district, or the downtown area, and they're not more than 50 minutes away from your host company. Then, upon your arrival the next day, we will give you a full day of induction course and cultural training, so your culture shock isn't quite as big. We will provide you with information on China's history, geography, topography, demographics. We will tell you how to, for example, catch the subway. We will advise you on how to communicate with your colleagues in your host company as well as your supervisor, how to present your business cards to them, and so on. And in the evening, after a full day of information, you will be invited to our formal welcome banquet. Now it's a real feast, and you get to meet all of the other interns on the program, which, depending on the season and the location, it could be from 20 to 80 different people from all over the world. So you gain a wide network of friends immediately. You will also, at that banquet, meet the program management teams. Now, this is something that we take very seriously. We provide 24-hour support and guidance for all of our interns. So any kind of professional or personal issues or questions that you may have, you can always talk to your program manager about them. Now, during the welcome banquet, we will also present you with a welcome pack that will include a prepaid SIM card, city guide, and a travel card. And then the weekend you have to yourself to explore the exciting new city that you're in. And on Monday, you start your internship, and we will drop you off at your host company and ensure that you meet your supervisor. And then after that, we will provide you with many different events, such as social and cultural activities, a China business seminar. We will present you with networking opportunities so you actually can meet professionals in your field. We will have a community outreach weekend event. So there's a lot to do, a lot to explore in this amazing country. We really make sure that you see all of the different sides of it. Now, you also have weekly Mandarin lessons that are included in the program. You're not required to attend them, but most students choose to, just because it gives you some basic survival skills in Mandarin. And by the way, our internship programs do not require any skills in Mandarin. 90% of our interns don't have any Mandarin skills, in fact. So there, that is what is included in our internship program. These are our four locations. Now, they're all fantastic locations for the legal sector. They have many excellent placements, and they're all very different cities, and it's up to you where you want to go. You choose the city of your internship choice: Shanghai, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, or Beijing. Now, let's look at a testimonial. Now, this testimonial is from a Canadian intern who just recently returned from her China internship program. Let's watch it.
My name is Malonika. I'm 25 years old. My professional background is law, and I was doing an internship in a business law firm here in Beijing. I'm doing the China internship program, so the 2 months internship program.
Could you tell us where you're from?
I'm from Montreal, Canada.
How is Beijing alike or different from your home city?
Well, Montreal is a way smaller city than Beijing, obviously. So I would say that the main difference for me when I first came here in Beijing was to realize how big the city was and how there is no downtown, so no central district. There are several central districts, so I think that we can never get bored, and we can never get we definitely never can get bored here when we're in Beijing, because there are just so many areas when there's something to do. So I think that that's the main difference between here and Beijing. Mainly during my internship, I performed research, so legal research, research about regulations, research about markets. So it was pretty interesting for me to have a background in law, and I did a bit of business as well. So to manage all of this and to use everything that I've learned at school during my internship, and to learn a lot about regulations. Here at the firm, I'm working with the Department of International Investment. So basically, I had to perform some research about the market in China for international companies that want to invest in China, or for a Chinese company that wants to go public in America. So I did a lot of research on the Securities and Exchange Commission, on the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, about the Hong Kong market as well, and a lot about the investment industry.
Okay. What other things have you been doing outside of work while in Beijing?
While in Beijing, first I had Mandarin classes, so I learned a few words and a few sentences in Mandarin that were totally helpful to go shopping, to buy stuff, experience the food here in Beijing, the food that is absolutely incredible. I went to many networking activities. CRCC organized for us some activities, some cultural or some business activities, to just to meet some other people who who live here in Beijing and who are foreigners as well. So I had the opportunity to go to those conferences and to meet them, to go to some cocktails as well, to do some charity as well with CRCC, and a bit of traveling as well. Wow. First, I think that the professional experience that we're getting here is really important for a young graduate. The first thing that we seek is professional experience, and whenever we need to go afterwards, they will want to know what we've learned, what we've gained. So on that part, I think that is actually pretty important. And I would say also, like, on a personal matter as well, that I've learned to be a bit more confident about myself professionally, and even in a group setting, because with the CRCC interns, we all live in the same building, so we are a tight group. So just like to manage how to be in group settings, and how to live with people that we really don't know, and how like to grow into how like to develop a friendship with those people. I think that is an experience that cannot be lived anywhere else, that if you travel, if you do something like this, a project like this, for such an intense time.
Awesome. What was the most surprising thing about the program and or Beijing?
That is a tough one. The most surprising thing about first about the program, I would say that being from Canada, we haven't really heard about CRCC Asia before. So of course, sometimes we can be a bit skeptical about like those internship programs and internship agencies. Will it be good? Will it be a great internship? Will we have support? So I'd say that the first like really surprising thing was really the support we had from CRCC since the beginning. And at any moment, if we needed something, even if it was not related to our internship at all, we had support from our lovely program managers, and all the activities that they provided us as well. I think that it is a great program for all of this, because we have like really quality internship, and we have like really all of those opportunities around as well, like to discover a bit more about Beijing. I would say about the city itself, I think that when we are like a Westerner, when we're a foreigner, we have this whole image of what China is. And while we come here and we stay here, at some point we just don't even want to go back home, because we just feel so great in Beijing. And I think that I was really seeking for an experience that was really different from everything that I've lived before. And I managed to live that, but as well I managed to actually feel at home in Beijing, and that was quite surprising. Awesome. What do I miss most about Beijing? It's a really hard one. Well, first, definitely I think I'll miss the friends I've made here. Of course, when we live 24/7 with people, like either you need your space, or either you really develop like some really strong friendships. And I had this privilege to develop those friendships. So definitely I will miss those people. And about the city, I think I will miss the fact that it's just so vibrant. At the same time, as I mentioned before, it is a really big city, and I've managed to actually feel at home here, and I've met so many other foreigners as well who are not necessarily interns from CRCC. So the life as a foreigner, the life here, that is quite different from everything that you could experience like at home or in another Western country. Definitely, I think I will miss the fact of living as a foreigner.
What are your plans or aspirations for after you finish your internship?
Well, my plans. Well, I'm actually planning to pursue a master in London, so that will be quite another experience for the next year. And of course, like maybe after that, being able like to find a job in my field.
Do you have any final impressions of CRCC Asia that you would like to add?
Well, I mentioned so many times before how how much we have like so much support from CRCC Asia. It is a wonderful program, and I really recommend it for anyone who will seek like for a totally different experience. But for people who want to have like this experience, but don't necessarily want to be thrown like in the middle of nowhere and like to feel a bit lost, with CRCC Asia, definitely you won't feel lost. You'll have that support, and you will develop great friendships, and that will be like the most amazing experience that you will have encountered in your life.
Thank you.
Now, we do have several other webinars coming up. We do take a short break in July. In August, we come back with a webinar on China's history and culture. And for the North American region, it will happen on August the 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on October the 6th, we have a webinar on traveling in and around China. Now, all of our webinars are directly uploaded to our YouTube channel in case you miss out on one, so please do feel free to check them out. Now, I'll just briefly talk about our application process. It is a free application, and it will take you 10 to 15 minutes to apply. If you go on our website on www.crccasia.com/apply/, you will see the application form. You submit your resume, you answer 2 written questions, and choose 3 sectors of your choice for the internship field. So that is how you apply, and please do let us know if you have any questions about it. Now we have many different social media networks that we're present on. We post a lot of different news and updates from China, as well as photos and videos from our current interns in China. So please feel free to like us, follow us, tag us, and whatever else you would like to do. We have 11 physical offices worldwide, as you can see. Today we're broadcasting from our Toronto office. We're right downtown Toronto. It's a beautiful day here today. I hope it's just as nice as wherever you are. In North America, we have 2 other offices, the main one being the San Francisco office. So if you have any questions, please feel free to call us or email us at either office. If you have any questions, please feel free to submit them on the right-hand side. I will give it just a few minutes to see if there are any more that we should answer. All right, so I see 1 question so far, and I'll answer it right now, and then I'll give it a few more minutes for anybody who has any more questions. Now, Shane Ryan asked, what city would you recommend for the legal sector? That's a fantastic question, Shane. Thank you for asking it. Now, all of our 4 cities are actually really good for the legal sector, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong. So it really depends where you want to go. They're all very different, very unique locations. We do have some information on our website regarding these 4 different locations, so you can go and read some of that information, maybe read some of our testimonials or intern blogs that we have on our website, because the interns have a fantastic way of describing their experiences in every city. Thank you for your question. Okay, we will give it a few more minutes for any other questions. One of the very typical questions that students like yourselves usually ask is if you can get credit for the program. Now, the answer is yes. We have a relationship with Golden Gate University out of San Francisco. It is accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. And Golden Gate University runs an internship course that you would do while on your internship in China. And those of you who are interested in getting accreditation can do so. Another common question that we get a lot from students is funding. So there is a fee for the program, and the program fee covers everything that I described a few minutes ago. It doesn't include the insurance and the flight, but everything else we cover. If anybody requires any funding for the program, we do have an annual CRCC Asia Scholarship that for North America runs in the fall time, so October and November. So please feel free to check in with us closer to that time if you do wish to apply for that scholarship. Other than that, we have a number of other opportunities listed on our website for North American students, and these opportunities may include government funding or university scholarships, among others. Now, if there are no more questions today, that is absolutely fine. You can feel free to reach out to our offices. As I mentioned, our San Francisco office or our Toronto office, call us or email us. We also have a live chat on our website, and we will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have.